So for the last part of our discussion is the follow-up questions.
First question is, what is the working principle that make the experimental study works? The working principle that make the experimental study work is the experimental design outlined in a given topic, which is degrading low-density polyethylene through thermal activation. By using LDPE, which is known to be easier to degrade under thermal conditions, the research aims to explore the process of converting plastic into oil. The closed chamber setup ensures that the plastic is heated in a controlled environment, while the absence of air prevents any unwanted reactions. The addition of activated charcoal in the chamber helps in the degradation process by providing a catalyst for the reaction. To further refine the crude oil, the, the charcoal is removed by centrifugation, separating it from the oil. This step helps in obtaining a purer form of oil with fewer impurities. Next, the composition of high aromatic alkanes for increased combustion efficiency. The process involves distilling the fractions of oil, specifically kerosene, to remove gases and low boiling point fractions. This step ensures that the only desired high C hydrocarbons are obtained. Furthermore, the requirement for these hydrocarbons to be in the form of aromatic hydrocarbons indicates a clear understanding of potential benefits they can offer in terms of combustion efficiency. By distilling the oil, the researchers are able to isolate the desired high aromatic alkanes such as hexadecane, pentadecane, nonadecane, heptadecane, and more. These hydrocarbons contain a high number of carbon atoms, which is desirable for their energy content. Additionally, the presence of aromatic rings in these compounds further enhances combustion efficiency. The decision to remove gases and low boiling point fractions during the distillation process is crucial in ensuring the final composition meets the desired specifications. Gases and low boiling point fractions are typically lighter hydrocarbons that may not contribute significantly to combustion efficiency. By eliminating these components, the researchers can focus on obtaining a composition that consists of high C aromatic hydrocarbons, which are more likely to provide optimal results. Lastly, by combusting the required oil with hydrogen peroxide, the researchers are aiming to generate high energy through the release of expanding gases, such as steam and carbon dioxide. This process involves the use of injectors or sprayers to atomize the oil and oxidizer, creating tiny droplets that can easily react and ignite. The use of injectors or sprayers for atomization is a common technique in combustion experiments, as it ensures efficient mixing of the fuel and oxidizer. By creating tiny droplets, a large surface area is exposed to the oxidizer, facilitating a rapid and complete combustion process. These methods allow for precise control over the combustion reaction, making it suitable for addressing the research questions.
Number two, from our point of view, what could have the research be its greatest point of weakness? So, the greatest weakness of the research on using pyrolyzed plastic as an alternative fuel source for rockets is the scalability of the pyrolysis process. While the experimental results are promising, translating these findings into an industrial scale operations presents significant challenges. Firstly, all experiments were conducted under controlled conditions using the same catalyst and plastic sample. This increased the validity of the results as it ensures consistency in variables. However, it is important to note that each experiment only represents a specific set of conditions and may not fully capture the complexity of real world scenarios. Furthermore, while the experiments provide valuable insights into the breakdown process, they also have limitations. For example, they only focus on one type of plastic and one catalyst to improve reliability and generalizability. Further experiment should consider testing different types of plastics and catalysts to determine if similar results are obtained. So the scalability issue arises from several factors. First one is the energy requirements. The pyrolysis process requires high energy temperature to 450 to 550 degrees Celsius to decompose low density polyethylene effectively. Scaling this process up to handle large volumes of plastics waste would necessitate substantial energy inputs which could be both costly and environmentally taxing. Second one is the consistency and control. Maintaining the precise conditions necessary for effective pyrolysis on a larger scale is challenging. Variations in temperature, pressure, and catalyst performance can significantly impact the yield and quality of the produced fuel, ensuring consistent results across large batches of more complex than in small, controlled laboratory settings. Third one is the raw material availability. The availability and processing of raw materials, like different types of plastic waste, can vary greatly in large scale operation, ensuring a consistent supply of suitable plastic feedstock and managing impurities or contaminants in the plastic waste stream adds another layer of complexity. The fourth one is the environmental and safety considerations. The environmental impact of scaling up the pyrolysis process must be carefully managed. Incomplete combustion can lead to release of harmful byproducts, necessitating controls to minimize environmental harm. Additionally, the handling of large quantities of plastic waste and the high temperature processes involved pose significant safety risks that need to be addressed. The fifth one is economic viability. The initial setup and operational costs for large scale pyrolysis facilitate are substantial, while the study suggests that the fuel produced could be cheaper than conventional fuel. The economic feasibility depends on various factors, including energy costs, the efficiency of pyrolysis process, and market acceptance. The aviation and rocketry industries are highly regulated, and gaining approval for new fuels involves extensive testing and certification, which can be both time consuming and expensive. In conclusion, while the research provides valuable insights in demonstrating the potential of using pyrolyzed plastic as an alternative rocket fuel, the greatest weakness lies in scalability of the process. Addressing these challenges requires further research and development to optimize the pyrolysis process for industrial application, ensuring it is energy efficient, environmentally friendly, and economically viable.
Number three, if you could progress the research further, what do you suggest as a group to progress the research on using pyrolyzed plastic as an alternative fuel source for rockets? Our group suggests a multiple approach. Firstly, we could explore a broader spectrum of catalysts, including biocatalysts, which could lead to more ecologically friendly and cost-effective solutions. Biocatalysts such as enzymes or whole cells can operate under milder conditions compared to traditional chemical catalysts, potentially lowering energy consumption and reducing harmful byproducts. Additionally, it is essential to conduct long-term performance and environmental impact studies of the fuels obtained from plastic waste. This research would ensure the safety and viability of these fuels, assessing their stability, efficiency, and emission over extended period. By verifying the environmental benefits and identifying any long-term risks, we can better understand and optimize the use of these alternative fuels.
Moreover, future research could focus on an innovative use of genetically modified bacteria of break down plastic into simpler hydrocarbons. This approach might simply the conversion process and significantly reduce energy use, making the overall system more sustainable. Another promising avenue is integrating this technology with renewable energy resources, such as solar or wind power, to drive the degradation and refining processes. This integration would further reduce the carbon footprint of fuel production, aligning with global efforts to mitigate climate change. Collaboration between biologists who specialize in genetic modification and biocatalyst, and aerospace engineering. Engineers who understand the specific fuel requirements and performance metrics is crucial. Such interdisciplinary cooperation can spur innovation, leading to the development of more sustainable and efficient fuel choices for the aerospace sector, ultimately revolutionizing waste management energy production.
So that would be all for an in-depth review of using pyrolyzed plastic as an alternative fuel source of rockets and hydrogen peroxide as an oxidizer. Again, we are Group 11 from Aero 1PO2. Thank you.